Hello everyone and welcome to another Illusion 2 video. Today I'm very excited to share with you the first game of the Worn Out Division tournament. This is the tournament that I'm hosting myself that I have announced in the past, where people have to leave some parts of their decks empty. And we're going to get to how this works in a second. I'm just going to introduce the player. We do have Diamondshark, who I don't think we have seen here on the channel yet, and we do have Spectacular, who we have seen in the past, but that is quite a while ago. So I'm really excited to have both of these players here. As I said, this is the very first game, and it's a long one, so I'm more than happy to cast that one. Also, there are some challenges that you can attempt. They are a little bit harder than the regular rules, and Spectacular tries to do one of them in this game, so we can see if he succeeds or not, because for each challenge, the first one to get it will also receive a prize, not just the winner of the tournament. So, how does it work actually before we go to the decks? The rules are simple. You do have to, basically you get points for leaving tabs empty. The amount of points you get are depending on the size of the tab. So 1 to 3, or up to 3 slots equals 1 point. And then 4 and 5 equals 2. And everything above is 3 points. You have to get 5 points. So that means that you at least have to leave 2 tabs empty, possibly 3, depending on how you split it up. It's your decision on how to do that. You do pick tabs to leave empty, like in rotating fashion. So player 2 picks 1, player 1 picks 1, and so on. So the other player also knows what you have empty. But yeah, and then the challenge that Spectacular is attempting is the 7 points challenge, where you have to get 7 points instead of 5 actually. So you have to leave a little bit more empty, either bigger tabs or more tabs. So which one of the two is up to you, but it's going to be at least 3 tabs. There's no way you can combine this to get 2. So that's the tricky part here. And yeah, I think we're just gonna hop into the decks. We can expect some interesting decks, I think, and see where this leads us. And I think it's a good idea to start with the division that is actually used for the challenge. So we have Panzergrenadier Grossdeutschland here by Spectacular, and so he decided to ban the AT tab, Artillery tab, and Air tab. And that, you know, is actually very efficient because you're not going to be spending more points than you really need to. And you're leaving out tabs that you can technically let go of. Now, the artillery tab is a little bit of a ballsy move for Tali Inhantala, because that one can be quite an arty grind at times. He's playing Maverick to try to deny that, but I think it's more of a balance map, in my personal opinion. So that one I can see being an issue, but it really depends on how it actually is played. And then the air tab is not that important anyway. And the AT tab, I mean, against 101st, he can let go of that. So it's actually very, very good. This is the only one I think he might really miss. The other ones, not really. Recon tab, we get Aufklärer, SD2 250, Aufklärer Panzer AT, and Panther. Surprised it doesn't bring more of those, but when you actually think of it, it makes a lot of sense, because in the areas where this thing really shines, you have to be afraid of bazookas and the M3 guns and things like that. So there's just no real point in bringing tons of these. In the tab, we get the Sturmgruppe and Sturmgruppe MG in A phase. Very interesting choice. Usually you bring more Panzergrens. I mean, it's both are MP44 units. This one has a machine gun, this one is not. It's nothing spectacular, nothing worth showing really. But they're not really good at range. Then yes, CUC and the Sturmgruppenführer. I mean, I guess it just kind of counts on support weapons and these things to hold the distance, all while these are made to be fighting in the forest, maybe because you have a lot of yellow forest. So I can see that logic there, but I'm not really sure. Then we get the leader, I think, with the Drillinge. Another Sturmgruppe in B phase. Panzergrens finally. Another leader, also with Drillinge. Or maybe this is not Drillinge, this one is with Drillinge. I think this one is with Drillinge, and this one might be with the APCR thingy. And then just some more Panzergrens in C phase. So a lot of leadership there. Actually quite nice to see. Tank tab, Panzer IV, Stück Freeze, and then Tigers, and then some Stück Freeze in C phase. I mean, this is great. You want to have the 2K tools. They can, I mean, there's not much Diamond will be able to do against those, except for using an AT plane, unless Spectacular goes too close to them, with them to the forest, but otherwise it should be fine. Support tab, he brings the SDKF Z251/9D, which is pretty nice, quite an infantry bully, and you get the occasional hit on a Sherman too, although in that matchup, No, he has Shermans, my bad. I'm confused. It's been not a game that I've watched. But he's single vetting it, which drops it down from 8 available to 4, so it's not really worth it in my opinion. Then he gets the flamethrower. I think this one is coming in the drilling. I do think it is, which is a very odd choice. Because they're not fast, but I mean, you have a lot of light armor, which 101st kind of counters, so to me that's a very odd choice there. MG42, 2k HE ammo, more MG42s, again in some sort of half track. I think this is also drilling it, and then more Gorilla. So tons of 2k on his side, and this is probably going to be a little bit of a problem for Diamondshark. AT tab empty, of course, and then the AA tab 20mm 88. Yeah, more 2k. He's really leveraging his 2k hard. He brings the mobile line, which is pretty good because then he has some mobility. Only 2 though, but single vet, they're actually going to be pretty decent. I mean, it's a flag 43, so nothing to complain there. This is a little bit of a stretch, especially against an airspam division like 101st. You probably want to take those flag 43 that you also get, but I mean, that can work as well, of course. On the other side, do you have Diamondshark with 101st Airbourne, and she has also 3 empty tabs, but he is not actually doing the challenge because it adds up to 6. And this makes sense though, because I am assuming that I mean, the problem is this would only give you 1 point, but if you want to ban, or if he has already banned either of those, he will still need to ban another tab regardless of if he takes this, he still needs to ban another one if he has used either of those, because they're both 2 points. Sorry, no, this one is 3, this is 2, but so in either case, you're not going to end up with your 5 points that you need. But he probably decided to not put anything there since Spec decided not to take any Air Force, so that's very reasonable. I mean, it's still expensive, so using those slots somewhere else makes a lot of sense. I'm not really convinced of this pick, to be honest. I do think this is a pretty... You have the Arty Party, which is good, but other than that, it's a really risky pick because you don't really have 2k. Whatsoever, especially since he dropped the support that he doesn't even have 2k HE, which, to be honest, with the amount of Tigers and Gorilla, is not really going to be that valuable anyway. Now, the infantry is really good if he can, and the APCR M1 guns as well, if he can get into some good positions early on. So I think it's really going to be crucial for him to get into good positions early on, grab some ground, build up some pressure, and then just kind of hold, and then maybe air spam later on. In the infantry tab, we do have a lot of good tools. Some of them are especially good against armor, and this can be quite crucial in those forest areas. We get the converter gunners, which is basically just the equivalent to the SCG units, right? It's an M1 carbine unit. AB demolition group, AB engineers, leader with Winters, of course, and then AB rifles in A and B phase, some glider rifles in C phase, tons of glider rifles in C phase actually, then AB rifles in A phase, AB rifles LMG, sorry, in A phase as well, which gives a little bit more punch, and AB engineers in B phase. So not a whole lot in B phase, a whole lot in A phase though, and then a ton in C phase. A whooping 104 infantry units. I mean, he doesn't really have much else other than infantry and planes, and a lot of hating else too. Tank tab, Ultras, Shermans, and Leaders duets, not much else there. These are, of course, in this map specifically, gonna struggle quite a bit. Then the AT tab has phenomenal stuff, of course, everything Radar, which is incredibly annoying to deal with. He has 2 M1 guns in A phase, all single vet. I think they come first, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong though. They do have APCR, which is fantastic, although you have to get quite close for that to be relevant. And then the M3 gun, which is also pretty nice. I mean, this thing overpens constantly, and it's relatively cheap, so nothing to complain there. Artillery tab, he brings the 76mm. This is a captured CIS-3. Then an 81mm mortar, artillery leader, 105 and the 155, so he's ready for the Arty Party in contrast to Spectacular. So I guess his plan is just going to be to kind of bog down Spec in a long grindy game, hold his push somehow, and then just grind him down with artillery and planes. Speaking of planes, look at that. We get a recon, then we get Mitchell's in A phase, together with 2 cards of P-51 fighter bombers, 1 card of fighter, which is pretty unnecessary since there's no planes anyway, and this thing doesn't do anything good except for being a fighter. Then in B phase, you get more P-51s, the P-47 tank buster, and more of those in C phase as well as more Mitchell. So this is a very, very, very spam build. Although I'm surprised about this, I get that he wants to go for the long game, but I feel like you probably need him in A phase already, maybe, because otherwise, how are you going to deal with the Tiger? But maybe, yeah. Maybe he has a plan for that. Who knows? Anyway, very curious to see how this one plays out. And I think we're just going to go right back to the map. And we are back again here on Tali Inhantala. And this is usually a very, very grindy map. However, in this case, we have an aggressive income. We don't have a massive arty tab on one side. So I think there are hopes for this to not be as much of an arty grind as it's usually going to be. And yeah, I think we're just going to hop right in and see what we can get here. So the down south on a Diamondshark side, he's on the red side, which is a little bit weaker because you have this flag that blue can relatively easily grab. Blue can also more easily push in here. Although we have seen Spectacular's deck, he has not that many fast transports. Now, Diamondshark could take advantage of this if he would have known, but of course he cannot know that Spectacular built his deck like that. So that's just very unlucky on his side. So we do have an early Sherman covering. This is very risky. I mean, I know he knows that there can't be AT guns hidden. So, you already have to think very differently, right? Because AT guns are a non-issue now for Diamondshark, so he can really play around that fact with his armor. If he can't see any other armor, then he knows that his tank is basically safe, right? We do have one of the radar AT guns in here that can kind of cut off this, which is pretty nice. You have nice line of sight here on this road, and you can easily cut that off. So once you actually manage to get a successful pusher, it can be super hard for blue side to really get back in there. This goes for all these areas, right? You just have like these patches of forest and towns, and then you have like open fields. And it's always, the big challenge is always crossing those open fields. This is why it is a very, very grindy map, because you get bogged down very easily. And also here you can't really make plays. Sometimes people try it. You can, maybe he does it. No, because with this is amphibious. You could launch an amphibious assault here. You can have some options for such plays as well, but very limited. But yeah, just defensive here, a little bit more aggressive maybe, but he of course has to contest that. Then we do have the captured 76 for some early artillery support, I suppose. This is such a fun unit. I mean, it's assist 3 basically. That is on the American side. So it was captured by the Germans and then captured by the Americans from the Germans. So very interesting there. On the other side, Spectacular going for a more aggressive deployment. It's very aggressive, actually. Very defensive here in the center, which is risky because this is the classical spot to push for red side. He goes more heavily into here. He has a lot of light armor here as well, of course, with the, as I said, of all sorts, the flamethrowers in the drilling and all those kind of things. But he has some fast transport with the Sturmpanier and the MG42 as well, so that might just work. Curious to see actually how this plays up. Up north, very weak deployment as well. Something defensive here in the center. And this is it already. What's that? It's an 88? No, it's a 20 mil. Interesting. Very interesting. Guess to force off the recon. But yeah, he doesn't even try to push for this. He doesn't try to push for this, which is also very classical. This is very under defended. Now, Diamondshark, on the other hand, goes defensive in all these positions. He has to go here because he needs to expect a rush, and then defensive up here. I think the Sherman here is maybe a bit of an overkill unless he really plans to potentially exploit weaknesses up there. Amphibious assaults can actually work out because they're usually not expected. So this is something that sometimes work out. The problem is you can't really supply it then. So this is a one-time push that you are happy to keep as long as it's working, but you're not really going to supply it super well because it's just more pain than it's worth it, really. So, I mean, what the big question is basically going to be, is Diamondshark realizing that Spectacular is weak everywhere else? Because this actually allows Diamondshark to really push here in the center. I think he could make plays for these 2 flags. Now, in here, it's a little bit trickier because the Stu 42 and as well as Stu 3 are basically outranging everything that Diamondshark has, and Diamondshark does not have any AT planes in A phase, which was a major mistake in my opinion. So it's going to be difficult for Spec to for Diamondshark to push past that, despite there not being that many units to cover things off, actually. Now, this thing can definitely, since it's super stealthy, might be able to find a way through here and then line of sight on these and can kill it because of the radar trait. It's probably not going to get spotted. 37 mil fails to get transport kills, but will probably get them very soon here. This is such a dangerous tool. And it's also in a position where it's going to be able to shoot at it. He spots something, but I can't imagine it's going to be the... Oh no, the MG42 spots them. Wow, very lucky. Bounces. Never seen that happening on an armor like this. But one of the flamethrower goes down. That's a drilling gun. But these guys with the 75 mils are now getting involved, getting the first kills there. Flamethrower just manages to get in. AB rifles though. Oh, first plane coming in. The drilling gear will definitely stop that. There's an 8080 as well. I have not noticed that, but I was going to say the AB rifles with the bazooka will be able to kill that, and they do. So the push already stopped. This flag grabbed just because there's nothing here to hold it. That's the reason why this flag is grabbed. M1 gun currently not moved. But actually, these are dangerously far forwards. The M1 gun can poke forward a little bit, and the Stu-42 is in range, and maybe even the Stug 3. And I don't think it's going to get spotted at that range. 75 mil is getting involved, starts hammering the MG42, but it is not within radio range. So this thing is not that good in my opinion if you don't actually use it for the radio. It's a Sys 3, and Sys 3s are underwhelming when it comes to firing without radio. Oh, SD gives that gets a shot off. I think got a pen, didn't it? It's now just missing. Yeah, the accuracy of this thing is not very good. Spectacular decided to pull back. He might have been okay to stick around for one more shot, maybe, but he definitely wants to pull out after that if he wants this to survive. Stug could definitely get in there and engage. Another Sherman coming in, but this is part of the issue. I think that there is no recon. So the recon time, I'm really not so sure if it's worth leaving that open. You always want to deploy recon at the start anyway. If you don't take it, you need to take a recon in the arty tab, right? Like the artillery spotter. This thing could also be very dangerous. You could put this at the edge here. Could start opening up on these tanks. But I guess Diamonshark doesn't see them probably. I think that's what it really is. Yeah, which is odd, right? I mean, he noticed that the stuff is here. So I'm surprised that he has not seen a lot of it. He doesn't see much. I guess that's a big problem. We see what Spec has here. Diamondshark has not spotted most of it. That's partly because Spec has not really engaged with all of it, but also to another extent because I think Diamondshark, yeah, just really doesn't have recon, and he didn't put units in a position where they can actually spot. Right here, there's nothing in a position I can spot. Oh, there's only 5 who finds the recon there. But even like just, yeah, look at this. Like what these should probably push forward just so that I can spot. Put them on return fire, push them forward, and you are good to go. Demolitions group and AB engineers should probably 2-on-1 shred the Strumpires over there. One gun opens up on these SKF sets right there. Very unfortunate there for Spectacular. He probably also wants to have some more recon around. Brings a leader. I mean, with the drilling it, I can definitely do the trick. The problem is going to be that all these infantry do have, or a lot of these infantry units on Diamondshark sides do have bazookas, so it's not actually that easy. Strumpire wins out against the engineer. Demolition group still around though. They do shred, like these M1 carbines, they really do the work. You get the TNT too. Oh, AB engineers survives getting sniped by the Stug 3. And one gun moving in position could snipe that Stug. Now we have a push by the Stromgruppe and some regular half-tracks. Easily pinning the AB rifles, that's the bazooka gone, so now the armor can actually run rampant here. Although Shermans are there to deal with that. Stug 3 versus Sherman, but the M1 is going to get involved. Oh no, and M1 gun has actually gotten spotted. Sherman does not actually spot the Stug. Stug gets a pen. What is... Oh, the Afghan is... Yeah, the Afghan is actually pretty far forward, so that's a nice position there by Spectacular. That definitely makes a difference. There we go. All of this pinned. Half-track could move in, surrender things. AB rifles, LMG. AB rifles, LMG could still hold on. There we go. Stug dead. Yeah, these ones are pretty good. Mitchell coming in, probably to bomb these if I haven't spotted what it was aimed at, but based on where the bombs drop, like were released. Oh no, this. Okay, interesting. AB rifles coming in. Yeah, Strumpires can't really do much about that, but they killed the M1 gun here, which is pretty big. More Sturmgruppe coming in the center. So it wasn't just the leader, I just didn't see that the other ones were called in as well. So I guess he's not just wanting to re-grab this, I guess he's preparing for another counter push right here as well, which the M1 gun could prevent if it is in the right spot. Not as is free in. AB rifles recovered and killed one of these SDKF sets, killing another one. I think this was the Drillinger here. Sherman now on a counter attack there. 13-11 for Diamondshark there, and that's huge. Because remember, this map is a very grindy map. It's more of a balanced map to begin with, and Spectacular is not really built. Like, first of all, he doesn't have the income for it, but he also doesn't have the artillery for a long grind. So I think there's Sherman. I was already damaged, got finished off by the Panzer IV. Panzer IV got 1 pen, but that wasn't enough. P-51 might be able to finish it off now. It has a big bomb loadout. There we go. 88 just is not able to stop it in time, as the P-51 is super fast. Third round for Spectacular, though, with him just barely grabbing this flag and re-grabbing this one right here now. But that little bit of a ticket was good for Diamondshark. When Spectacular inevitably gets a little bit of a lead in the longer run, when he can really leverage his income, this is where this little difference here in tickets can already make a difference in the end for the long run. And again, I mean, Diamondshark is not really... So the Diamondshark's problem is that he's not really well set up for grabbing these flags. So if this was not a tournament game, but a regular game, a queue game, where you don't have a time limit, I think that can work. Here I am a bit skeptical, because he will struggle holding and pressuring some flags. But he has the arty party going, he has the air spam going, so if he can leverage that, Spectacular will be struggling and potentially even crumble eventually. So it's really, I think this is far from decided just based on the matchup. But I do definitely see problems here for Diamondshark. But again, I do see problems here as well. So no line of sight on the oh no, it does. Sherman does not have bailed out from this thing right here. Oh, the Panzerbüchse. Wow, pretty lucky. I mean, it's overpenned. But yeah, I mean, and as I said, Spectacular has the issue that he's playing Maverick on a map that is, in my opinion, more of a balanced map, really. Because of how grindy it is. The Demolition Group is really holding up. But it can't survive here forever. What is it even shooting? Oh, it's shooting at a Sturmpire, and Sturmpire is not in range. Oh no, but the SAK sets are gonna get involved. Can he get the kill? He can, and he can get into hiding. Ooh. Yeah, but it holds the bubble of frontline because it's radar, so flag still with Diamondshark, still 13-11. These can't surrender because they're recon, so it's good for him there. Now, yeah, these are not what you want to bring into the forest, especially not against a Sturmpire. Against a Panzergren, this is of course the advantage of the American units, right? They can actually hold up quite nicely. This one less so because it has the Browning, but the M1 Carabine and Garand are still better in the forest, of course, than regular Panzergren rifles. Another Mitchell coming in. Maybe it's the same going after these. Yeah, that's maybe not the best idea. He could just move that one a little bit forward, and he could do the trick as well. But there's only 20 mils here, so they probably won't kill. Although there's quite a few of them. We have the drilling. It will add up. But the Mitchell has, I think, very good resilience, so it's not really going to work. Strafing. Yeah, this was an overkill. I'm surprised that he, as I said, I'm surprised that he even brings a fighter, because there's no reason to do so. They're really not that good for strafing. Anything with 50k, and he goes down, so that's a big loss, because remember, Diamondshark would now need to prepare for the big push that is inevitably going to come in B phase. So he should trade well, get good positions right now, get a comfortable ticket lead, which he had for a while. And one gun here going after the streak. So this is a lot of action for... grenades getting thrown on top of the vehicle. There we go, one guy's to kill. I was going to say this is a lot of action that we're going to get to see here for Tali Inhantala. Very often it's getting stalled very quickly, and then people just kind of do the arty party. So I'm very happy that this is not going to be happening. M3 gun here can definitely kill that Avclair Panzer 30 AT. I mean, look at that, it's so close. And because of the radar trade, still going to get the first shot, pen, bounce, wow. But it's going to pen, yeah, there we go, down in these. 20 mil being used aggressively. Interesting choice there. Wipes the IB rifles though. And 3-gun finds the next target to bully. Oh, Stu. Still gonna get another side shot. Oh, and I think it does 5 damage, right? It will be bouncing a bit now, but oh, by the way, big push happening up north. Pretty huge. So Spec going for the next flag. It will keep bouncing, but it will eventually pen, just because of how fast it fires. Like it still can overpen. This definitely happens. There we go. See, this is what happens. Another Mitchell going in. It's smoking already. I mean, it was flying over this 20 mil. Was flying. Oh no, that's not a drilling. But still has the 88 too. That would be very bad if he lost that. But it bombed all of this. There we go. He loses it. So yeah, that is very bad. He bombs all of this, stops the push. His own units are pinned as well, though. I'm not really sure if because of the push or because of the bombing. Panzergun versus AB Rifles LMG. The Browning is not too bad, so with the cover difference, he should win that. Schöngruppenführer coming in to surrender, I guess that's the goal. I mean, if these keep pinning them, and he kind of, because this thing can move and shoot, right? If he keeps firing as well with those two MP44s, that should be enough to keep those pinned. You have another 88 in the open, and the Tiger leader is just being called in, which is also going to buff up this AA piece there. The Sis are going after the 88s, but I think he really needs to combine both of them together. This is not a proper long-range RTBs. You want to actually have proper artillery if you want to do that, in my opinion. B-51 trying to get in, going after the half-track there. Fails to do so. Might die as well. Flying over 20 mil. There's another Drillinger here. Yeah, 288s, down he goes. Now, Jesus, it's not going very, very well for Diamondshark. He's just a little bit too careless with his planes, I think. He needs to be more careful with his planes because he has a lot of good advantages. The other problem with this map is the 88 is a little bit of an exception, but otherwise it's sometimes very hard to follow up with your AA efficiently, right? So if you push in here, which Spec is doing right now, and then if you bring your A up here, it's very exposed, so it's likely to get killed. And if you sit back here, it's likely to not stop anything that bombs this. So you can really easily bomb pushes here. We do see a push up north with the AB Rifles LMG, and now we do see an amphibious assault. Love to see that. Tiger, can it see it from here? Maybe. Where is it going? It probably won't be able to see it. The Panther won't be able to see it as well. Airbourne MG will lose against the Sturmgruppe MG, I think. Yeah, it does. And the half-track would be able there to help as well. Converted gunners coming in too, but the Sherman will definitely be a problem over there. Meanwhile, in the center, reinforcements are coming in. Stuart's here in a nice position to snipe transport. There's nothing here that can stop that Stuart. That one's actually a big problem now. And so things have kind of quieted down a little bit. I think Spectacular's push here really has failed. Diamondshark on 13-11 once again with this flag being grabbed. So he's doing a nice job here at really keeping those flags going for him. I just love the amphibious assault. We see them so rarely, and it's so fun when it happens. It's so cool. Like, look at that. That's so cool. That's just cool. Is there a special animation to it? No. Okay, it's really just swimming like normally, but pretty cool. Actually, I think I've only made a play like this once, and it was in the open. It was not a good idea. I can tell that much. It worked, but it was doomed to fail eventually. And this is how these pushes always go. It was also against Mimil, so it's not like there was no that was a rough one, but it was fun. So I always love to see it. It happens so rarely, but it's so great that people try to go Spec. Why do you go back? No. You got 2 flags that you can keep. He could just push this and clean this up. Follow up with these guys, and he gets it. Maybe move up these guys a little bit if he can. I mean, there's options for it, maybe, because then he can really make sure that he maintains the front line there. Another Mitchell coming in. A big mistake here, I think, by Diamondshark is to really just try to send single bombers at a time. If you want to air spam and your opponent has AA, you need to group them together. You need to send 2, 3, 4 planes at a time, and then decide what targets you really want to bomb. Send them, make sure that you don't go too deep, like this right here would be okay targets. If there was another push here, that would be an okay target, right? Something like that, and then just go for it. But these things, unfortunately, just don't do enough work. And he could easily be fixed. He just needs a leader somewhere over here. And like a leader over here as well would do the trick already. But he really needs those leaders. P47 versus Tiger. It gets a lot of suppression. Still gets a kill though. And I think this one's not going to get killed. Because these are fast and medium resilience. Then again, I have been wrong in the past. Oh, is the last 88 shots going to kill it? Oh! This thing is an absolute sniper. But now it's out of ammo, so it needs to be resupplied. The Spectacular doesn't realize he might get airspanned quite hard now. He has a mobile wagon in here as well. So we missed that. That's a huge thing as well. I was wondering where all the suppression damage comes from, because I mean 20 mils should not be underestimated in my opinion. Their single 20 mil just really isn't good. Like this we know, this hasn't changed, but they can definitely do a little bit of work. Right here. M4 is just chilling here. What is he doing? Oh, one M1 gun in here, and all of this will get sniped. It's a shame that he is not moving that. He could be moving that. There's one coming in, but it's in a... The problem is it's going to drive through the line of sight of the Panther, so it's probably going to get sniped by the Panther. He could also unload it here, put it in like the backyard here, and then it can also do the trick because the Panther is so close. Can even use the APCR at that range, so... Still third level for Diamondshark. As he grabs this now since there's nothing here, and one AB rifle just move forward. So this is usually something you have to cover off on blue side. One infantry unit can do the trick there though. Not a Tiger coming in for the center. Sherman here. I mean, nothing here can deal with that Sherman. Never mind, the Tiger's coming in. The Tiger can definitely deal with the Sherman. This thing is now in a position where the AP can be used. It won't help against the Tiger, but it is still helpful overall. Sherman bullying the Panzergren is going to get bullied by the Tiger in just a second. Oh, shoot, killed. Oh, that's nasty. Another Sherman coming in here. Needs to be careful. Yeah, this was unloaded in the transport. Ah, so unfortunate. Surprised that maybe the Tiger is coming. No intention so far by Spec to deal with that. And Diamondshark could really exploit this and grab another flag here too. Currently still on 30-11, so he's fine with how things are, but I think grabbing more flags is really crucial. The recon plane coming in to help spot, that's not the worst idea, but yeah, he just I don't think he sees much. I think that's a big part of the problem. He sees these, so he could move them. Another one coming in. This time, yeah, this is a good spot. This is a very good spot. Sherman gets revealed as well. What does Spec see? Because sometimes it's very interesting to see Spec collect. Now it's actually Spectacular doesn't see much. He has a recon in an infantry at the edges in some areas. He could probably have some more here. But he has a recon. Oh, so what I wanted. He has a recon, so it's not. That's an issue for him. Oh, and one gun gets another snipe here. Maybe he could even put one like in here. Let it chill there. Put it on efficient shot. I used to be a huge hater of efficient shot, but it's actually useful if you use it correctly, right? Don't put everything on efficient shot. That's not the way to go. Is it shooting at it frontally? No, it wasn't. Now the Panther has spotted it in return, and at this range will just bounce. So this is where efficient shot is a good thing. But I think it should probably just have tried to move through. I don't think the Panther will ever have long enough line of sight here to snipe it. Maybe here. You have to be careful. Maybe you have to bring it in from here, which is also really sucks. Mobile wagon and 88 nicely pushing forward, so I think that P51 might get stopped. And if it doesn't, yeah, it does. Maybe it could have gotten onto the Panther D, but definitely not. See, this is what you need to do, but you need to time it better, I think. P50 now still gets the rockets off before he get a lot of suppression. Spread still big enough though to save the Panther D, and it's not even that damaged. So everywhere around him. That's where the shells landed. One gun going after the Tiger. Is it in APCR range? It is not. No, that would be much closer. So it will probably just get killed by the Tiger. This is why efficient shot. This is one of the situations where efficient shot actually really helps you, because in those kind of situations where they're just wasting ammo, just revealing themselves and getting killed, you need to wait for it to be closer. That makes a lot of sense then. Yeah, I think Diamondshark could, if he spent more on artillery than planes, because he wasted so many planes, he could start grinding Spectacular down now quite a bit. Also, just spread more of these M1 guns around everywhere. I mean, they're so good. Just need more of them. And like put them in good positions and just let your opponent run into them. That's how you use them. Yeah, see, this is now a good spot to unload it, because now it's an APCR range. Just can easily kill that after that Panther D. Another M1 gun here going after, I think, the Panzer IV. And it will claim that kill. It should claim that kill. Wow. Recon pushing. That's maybe a little bit too aggressive. When the infantry is on its way, you can just leave it back here and let the infantry handle everything, because now it's just going to get killed probably. But M1 gun got the kill. Oh, might snipe the MG42 as well. It does. Mobile wagon could follow if the infantry doesn't follow up in time. The M1 gun could snipe that mobile wagon as well. That would be pretty huge, considering how much of air spam Diamondshark wants to do. But if you look on the map, I mean, and especially considering the prices of the units, Spectacular is in a very good position. It's just not using it aggressively enough. But I guess he's afraid of all the M1 guns right now, which is very understandable. Very understandable, but I would be too if I was him. I guess he's just very afraid to run into them if he pushes forward now. But infantry is pushing forward slowly. So he's doing the work, but he needs to make things work, right? He needs to get the flags, actually. Right now, it's still 13-11 for a Diamondshark. Diamondshark has lost some tickets too, but if Spectacular wants to really profit from this, because if he stops, Diamondshark will eventually get the air spam and RT spam going if he stops wasting his unit disciplines one by one. And at that point, he will be able to eventually turn things around and, yeah, just out-grind Spectacular. Because as it is right now, Spectacular doesn't actually have pressure. Like, he has a lot of potential to apply pressure, but he doesn't have pressure on the map just yet, since the ticket situation is not actually pressuring Diamondshark just yet. Avian Engineers here, yeah, Raider trade, just really good. Look at that bubble extension here. Not a plane being shot down. I haven't noticed that what that was. I guess recon probably. Not a CIS-3 moving in up close against a Tiger. And if he gets side shots, I guess P-47 coming in again. Gets stopped though. Oh, Mobile One got a gun jam. That's huge. But the other one is still there. And an 88. This one is not being resupplied, but there's a Tiger here. The bleed here could easily be stopped by Spectacular, by the way. All he needs to do is put one infantry unit there. Oh, but we do get a P-47 finally making it out. I mean, the other one made it out as well. This one at least is going to make it out. Sherman now being engaged by two Tigers. There's also a problem because now they're turned this way, and now the CIS-2 is going to get shredded by Panthers. Tigers. But that was maybe not the best idea. Ooh, see, but now there's an M1 gun in dangerous position. That could just absolutely waste both of these Tigers. Gets side shots too. APCRs flying. I think that's a pen. And now, oh, CIS-2. CIS-3, really nice play. Now coming from the side, getting the side shots. Now the Tiger can't really decide what to do. M1 gun gets another pen. Tiger gets out of line of sight in time. 14-10, 15-9 now for Spectacular. Down south, Sherman versus Tiger, not a good fight. Another Sherman coming in. 88 is also there to help, so that's a rough one. This flag now finally secured, though. This flag also regrabbed, as we could see some point a bit earlier, the Sherman going down. I think this Panzer IV did kill it. Now I have a Stuart here trying to hold ground, the infantry here trying to do as well. Another Sherman coming. There's nothing here to deal with that Sherman, so the Sherman can actually be pretty dangerous there. I think now glider rifles coming in, more AB rifles. Another Sherman losing here. I think, yeah, I think Diamonshark just tried to make things happen a little bit too fast. I think he could have tried to dig in a little bit more with his M1 guns, so and you know, invest earlier into his artillery, because right now I don't really see how he wants to turn this around. The only way a Spectacular can lose this now if he doesn't keep up the pressure and leaves a lot of valuable tanks out in the open to get killed by like the M1 guns with their APCR. So he needs to respect the distance. If he can outrange these things, is very good. If Diamonshark can bring another like AT gun in here to kill that Tiger, it's gonna be tough. Same thing here, by the way. Like, there's a lot of support tools here, but and the M1 gun with the Raider Shake could definitely start picking apart all of this, and then all of a sudden the AA might be gone. So it's a very realistic threat. So Spectacular needs to be very careful here. I think he also needs some more infantry and or recon to help here. Yeah, another M1 gun is coming in. I think the M1 gun is probably more needed in here right now, where it can actually stop all of this push. Because if the armor here is dealt with, there's not that much AA left, and Diamondshark can open up the skies again. And also, he can realistically push back on in this position, because there's not much here that can actually prevent him from doing so. Tiger coming in, again, in a very aggressive position. Stug as well. I'm surprised that he didn't actually put anything there. I'm also surprised that Diamondshark didn't actually try to make any pushes here. He has a decent amount of forces. I mean, he did with the Sherman, but he, you know, he could make a nice combined arms push here, getting back into this forest. But once again, I think he just, yeah, he doesn't see much, so he doesn't. So if you don't see, the problem is you just don't know if there's nothing there, or if you just don't see it. So if you have recon there, you can be somewhat certain that there's probably nothing to see for you, because there's nothing there. So this is kind of how it works, except for these Raider AT guns. These are just. Oh, but looks like the Sherman here managed to sneak in and kill the Gorilla. That's already a big thing, because that means that some of the HE damage here is gone. Now, the 88 is still a problem. This one could maybe try. No, Tiger's preventing that. I was going to say could maybe try to make a move in here and grab that flag back. P-51 gets stopped again. Yeah, Diamondshark just needs to stop sending in planes in one by one. This is also way too deep. But yeah, he loses another one. Now the P-51 fighter's coming in. That's just not a good way. I mean, eventually Spectacular is going to run out of bullets with the AA pieces. And the 88 here is not doing anything still because it's not being resupplied. So this could maybe let Diamondshark know, if he's aware that this is here, that the south is actually free for grabs for him. He could really, like, all these units right here could really push hard down south. There's no way these two can stop that. He could easily get into that position, maybe even this one. And then if you have the Raider units, you could just send them here. You can send them everywhere as a flag and see if one of them can maybe hide in the forests, and then Spectacular needs to react. Because remember, Spectacular is on an income disadvantage right now. Oh, and everything. Oh, no. All the glider rifles here are bunched up. They're just going to get suppression by everything that's shooting at them. Oh, no. Gorilla here absolutely wiping them as well. Some of them are still shooting at the 88, so that's actually pretty big. Sherman helping here against the Sturmgruppe. So some of the work here is being done by those glider rifles. We do have Sturmpioneers now pushing forward, though. If they manage to kill this off, that's going to be a bit of a problem, because then this flag will be lost as well. But 12-12, and Diamondshark is still in the lead, because, again, Spectacular took his time to really get the aggression going, and Diamondshark's encirclement here kind of saved him a little bit. Tiger also can't move into surrender these, because some of these have recovered. And yeah, they all have bazookas. Now another row of glider rifles pushing in. Oh boy. That's gonna be a tough one. Yeah, Spectacular definitely needs to make some ground back. He really just needs to stop this. I mean, this is such a huge, this is so big. He could have stopped single tick by Diamondshark quite a long time ago had he just put a single unit in there, and he would still be ticking him down now. Now he's ticking him down again, but it's just going to be fixed by the glider rifles, although some of these are probably going to get lost to the Tiger and Gorilla here. Oh, Champagne unfortunately is at the edge of the forest, reveals itself. This one might not. The Gorilla and Tiger might be able to pin all of this because they're so bunched up, so this Champagne might be able to just move in and surrender all of them. It would be horrible. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And Diamondshark will, if he just keeps spamming these glider rifles out, he will run out eventually. And at that point, his income advantage doesn't really help him all that much if he has out of unit. He still has the air spam, but he really needs to bunch up things. Everything's pinned. Does Spectacular go for the play though? That's the question. He could. I mean, they're gonna die eventually. Oh no, Gorilla is redirecting over here, so now they could recover. Tiger's still working on it though. I'm not rooting for either of those, but I just want to see all of them surrendered. I mean, that would be a view, right? Mitchell coming in, 2 mobile wagons still there, gets forced off again, might get killed again as well. So that's just, oh, that's so hard to watch. It's really hard to watch. There we go, Mitchell going down as well. Spectacular by the looks of it, not really up for any adventurous play. So not trying to surrender this. He might also be running a little bit of infantry. We do have 2 more coming in, but he did not really bring in infantry steel with that at all. Although there's more coming in here, so he might still have some. Oh, 2 M1 guns in here as well. Interesting. So one to hold this, one to hold this. Yeah, that's nice. It's a nice choice. Just took a little bit too long for this to happen, but this can definitely do the work here. Stormtrooper can also start hammering these. Really wants to. Oh, I could have collapsed this, but now stopped again. Converted gunners, I think Sturmpire on 2 healths. They might win, but I'm not actually 100% sure. On the P-47 coming in. Not on an attack order though. Being forced off right away by the mobile line. Yeah, it's just not going to work. You can bring this in first to kind of bait out the AA a little bit, but we have seen them dying en masse. So, yeah, I don't think it would have gotten out anyway. But again, is the encirclement happening? No. Tiger says no to this. Just go back and forth, really. Wow. What a game. Now it just... what? Okay. Also, by the way, like, all the 88s could have easily been targeted by artillery. It's just... okay, so he wants those to bait for the A, but the Mitchell is just way faster. They're going to get stopped again. If he sent one in just a bit earlier, I think he just needed to combine them together. Like, send them all together, and then I think they would have been good. But the pinning is happening again. What a game. Sturmgruppe might be getting overwhelmed a little bit by all of these. Tiger's still doing the work. Actually, yeah, I'm curious now. Because the M1s do damage, yeah, they do. Finally cleared that out. Threat alone for spec still. But if Diamondshark at any point can find another flag, or now 2, it's just going to get more difficult as this one falls. But there's definitely still room for him to turn this around. Because I don't think Spectacular has many units left, probably. But Diamondshark probably doesn't have any infantry either, because we haven't seen him sending in more. So I don't think he has more Shermans either. I think he has more artillery and he has more planes. And what really needs to happen now, and there might still be enough time, if he has at least 1 or 2 infantry units to at least then grab ground. Because if he loses all of this and this is all of his infantry, that's not going to be easy for him. But what needs to happen is he needs to have artillery and planes, like, working nicely together, pin the AA, bring in the planes, swarm the AA with planes, and that might be able to work. Glide rifles here, fine at 20 mil. That's a good unit to pick on, but it's not deciding anymore at this point. Oh, Tiger now spots glider rifles. I think glider rifles are moving right back, as they have noticed that. So yeah, it has quite a down. It looks like, it almost looks like one of these Vanguard versus Maverick kind of grinds based on how few units are on the map and coming in, but it's actually the opposite. And it is Spectacular who just keeps sending more units. I think Diamondshark is out. I think he's empty. Oh, glider rifles get spotted by the Tiger now. How many machine guns does Tiger actually have? 2 MG34s, okay. But it does a bit more HE damage, so that is probably notable. Oh no, everything gets shredded as well, so Diamond's probably going to lose these flags here as well. Ooh, yeah. Another M1 gun coming in. I don't think this is a deciding thing anymore. It can still do work up here. It can actually do a lot of killing up here. Ah, there we go. More infantry is existing and coming in. No, he's not out. Where was that infantry? Is he floating points right now? I think he must be. Also I kind of missed that. Did one of these die? Because I only see one of them right now. So the P-47 here actually going to get in. By his lost line of sight, and the Tiger is going to get to leave. Flies directly over the mobile wagon. That's problematic. Mitchell coming in, throws the bombs in here. That's going to do a lot of damage because everything is bunched up here. But the bombs are nicely spread, as you can see, so... yeah, it's going to be doing a lot of pinning and not a lot of killing. But the infantry is coming in, and you know the pinning can actually be very useful here. However, I think they're not nice as synchronized like these arriving and the pinning here, so probably not going to work. 16-8, back to 15-9 now. Stück 3, we see the sudden push finally happening. Stück 3 is going to get bully tiger by the looks of it, died probably to the APCR of the M1 guns. Leader coming in that can't really do much. AB rifle hasn't finally pushed forward to secure this off, so we do see progress down south. Diamondshark might be turning it on, and it's apparently not out of units, so maybe there's still a chance for him. But I just looking at the map, I don't think so. But if he can prevent Spectacular from really pushing forward here with all his tools, while grabbing ground down south as well, then maybe something happens. I mean, it's 13-11 already, and he can just keep pushing. There's 2 flags to grab here that will bring it to 12-12. There's maybe a chance of grabbing one of these with some radar units, and that would be the 13-11 in the other direction, which could matter definitely. But it looks like he's going to lose this flag very soon. So I have some doubts. I think that his fate is sealed, but he's trying hard. He's trying not to. Recon planes coming in again. Is he running out of regular planes? That's my question. He might be. No, he's trying again to bait, but it's just mistimed, unfortunately for him. P51 is going to get stopped for sure. Mobilizing is right there. Actually pretty close. P47 I don't think is going to get the shot off. Might. Maybe 1 or 2 rockets. 3 rockets still go off. Don't manage to kill though. Anything damaged here? Tiger? Not really. Really? Not really. Okay. So, push down south, nicely developing, but the M1 guns unfortunately not being able to hold up. Stuart just not in the right spot. Otherwise you could have dealt with this. But this is open top though, so these can actually throw grenades on top of it. The flame can definitely deal damage as well. So, yeah, he's grabbed this. Stuart gets a side shot on the Stück. Stück still turning, but it turns in time, so Stuart's probably going to go down. And 3 gun at this range can definitely pen that Stück. It will probably bounce a little bit, but it will pen eventually. And 1 gun can definitely do the job. And Stück hasn't spotted it yet. Down it goes. There's also plenty of leaders here, so I was thinking for a brief moment maybe we could see somehow an encirclement, but with this not being held by Diamonshark, I can't really see it, and the leaders would deny that anyway. So, but it would have been really cool otherwise. Very cool, actually. More infantry coming in on both sides. More 20 mils coming in on Spectacular side. 20 mil shredding the engineers here a little bit. Oh, it gets surrounded instantly. The rifles can't really do much. They're not in a range yet where they can throw anything on top of that, like into that vehicle. Meanwhile, Sturmgruppe here finally securing this. Panzergren will stop that AB engineer. 16-8 now for Spec. Is pushing up north as well. Trying to clear that out. I think the glide rifles will eventually lose. The SDKF set 251/17D here is doing a little bit of AA duty by the looks of it, because P51 comes in for a bombing run. But it is, yeah, it can't really do much here. It can shred the engineers, but as soon as it moves forward, the glide rifles will kill that. Glide rifles are actually just moving forward to kill that. It should disappear very soon. Down south, we do have a little bit of pitting. There we go. Down it is. Yeah, down south, the AV rifles LMG finally got cleared out. Another glider rifles come in. It's probably just going to get killed in the transport right here, or at least unloaded. There we go. Gets killed. Survives, but yeah, transport gets killed. The unit survives, but it's not going to last for long. Here, infantry coming in, trying to regrab the Sturmgruppe, is trying its best to hold it off, though. How is that happening? No, it's not the Sturmgruppe. Sturmgruppe just tries to hold it. It's not the Sturmgruppe LMG. Tiger, though, is what's actually stopping this. Now we do have a row of P51s coming in. Yeah, this is what you want to do, but maybe not frontal into the AA. So that's the next problem here. But in principle, this is how you want to do it, but just not right into the AA. This is a recipe for disaster. It could maybe work with some Mitchells combined in there as well, because they don't need to go as close. They fly very far up, like high up, so that they're not as easily targeted by AA. 16-8 though. 3 minutes left to go. I think we can just, I don't usually do this, but I don't know anything else to talk about, so I think we're just gonna increase the speed here a little bit, because we all know how this ends. So, I'm free gun actually in a nice spot here where I can't really do much. Some bombing happening down south, but yeah, it's just some more failed airstrikes really, and another row of infantry. So it's really just sending them in, all getting wasted. And this is about it. And I mean, we again, just want to point this out. Diamondshark actually surrenders. Just want to point this out that these kind of plays, they really require you to combine nicely your planes together in one big airstrike, and you of course need to use your artillery to really deal with those. 3890 to 5095, so still a lot of kills by Diamonshark, and we could definitely see that. I mean, Spec lost a lot of armor to those AT guns, and his planes, some of them did some killing, so it's not like they did nothing. But yeah, AB rifles, yeah, look at that. Killed so much. That was a sudden push. That was really pricey for Spectacular. Really well held by Diamonshark there. I could see the whole thing fail for Spectacular. By the way, before I forget, congratulations to Spectacular, because he did manage to win the first challenge. There's 3 challenges. Each challenge gets a prize, which will be the Do Club Pass DLC. So Spectacular is the first one to secure one of those. Congratulations to him. And I mean, not just for the prize, but also for managing those challenges. I am very excited to see that some of these challenges are getting played. I hope that other players still try this challenge just for themselves, to kind of challenge themselves a little bit, even though there's nothing to gain from it now anymore, except a good feeling for yourself. And one gun, yeah, look at this finger. It kills so much armor. And another one. Ooh. And more armor, and transports, and more armor, and transports. Yeah, I mean, and some of the AB rifles also did good work. AB engineers did dominate a bit. I don't know where those were. Another M1 gun. Yeah, I mean, half of the kills I think is from M1 guns, just by the looks of it, and the M3 guns as well. On the other side, we do have the 88 shooting down. Yeah, I think most of well, no, there's not that many planes. It's just very expensive. So I guess most of Spec's kills are not planes. It's actually going to be infantry that's going to get killed. But I was going to say, I think we're definitely going to see some AA pieces doing really well, though. For example, the 88 here. This 20 mil here as well. A killer Sherman. Whew. I mean, I've definitely seen 20 mils killing tanks. I've also been on the receiving end. It's not super fun. This 20 mil here, killing a Mitchell and a P51. Oh yeah, the Panther, the Guerrilla, and Tiger, they dominate quite a bit in the open. Yeah, look at this thing go. Just absolutely shredding the open. And this is the problem that I was mentioning when talking about the divisions, right? It's just the range disadvantage from 100% on this map is massive. It's really massive. Now, Spectacular is pushing forward super aggressive with some of his tanks. So there would have been ample opportunities for Diamondshark to deal with some of them. He was just a little bit slow with doing so. Mobilwagen here killing more P51s. Tiger killing Shermans. Guerrilla shredding lots of things. Another Tiger just killing stuff at range. Wow. And then just the infantry spam at the end getting stopped by... Look at these units. So much value. What a slaughter. What a slaughter. Very enjoyable match, though. It's always great when on Tali Inhantala you have not just everyone fighting over that one central area, but you actually have the whole range of the map being played, sometimes simultaneously and at least throughout the game. If not simultaneously, so this is really cool. But yeah, hope you enjoyed it a lot. Congrats to Spectacular again. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a great day and see you next time.